Hey everybody, okay, got another ration. Recently there was a topic on mreinfo.com saying that if you were like stuck on a deserted island and you could only have like one ration for your entire time that you were there, what would it be? And I said, well, with me, hands down, it'd be the Finnish ration. That thing had so much food in it that it would just keep you full for, actually it's got more food in it than for 24 hours. It's just an awful amount of food, which is great. So if you're stuck on a deserted island, it's perfect. I think I've got the heaviest ration for one person known to man. This thing is so huge and so heavy that it weighs nearly 5 pounds. This thing comes from the great country of Malaysia. Now let's weigh this thing real quick. I would show you the little monitor, but this thing is just way too big. It just swallows it up. So we'll start off in grams. 2,110 grams. And we'll switch it over to pounds and ounces. 4 pounds, 10 ounces. That is how much stuff is inside of this ration. That is insane for one day. The bag is just simply a plastic bag. It does have a little hole up there. And it's just probably about a 2 mil heat seal. And that is it on both sides. Well, let's check this thing out. Grab my little knife and slice this bad boy open. Make sure we don't cut into anything. I think I need to sharpen this little thing. Doesn't want to slice too well anymore. Nope, not at all, man. It's criminal. Let's check out what we got inside of this. In fact, this thing is just so huge, I'm just going to dump everything out instead of just grabbing everything one at a time. It's probably about a good 3-4 mil bag. Each one of these is a meal. And I think there's like 10 of these meals. Alright, now there's 10 of these entree side mains, so it's quite a significant amount of food. In this writing, it is the black menu. They have blue, they have yellow, they have red, and essentially this writing just means leave it in its plastic wrapper until you are ready to eat. So 140 grams, 10 of these. That is a ton of food. So we'll start off on this. This is like a vegetables and sauce. What do we have here? Pineapple in a syrup. And this one is papaya in syrup. So that was one of the things that I was saying. I wish that they kept, you know, real fruit in the U.S. rations. Well, right here we've got veggies and fruit. Your servings for that. Let's check out these ones. Okay, this is like a glutinous black rice dessert. Interesting. And I am korma. I believe it is a chicken korma, kind of like an Indian type dish, or at least that's kind of what it says. This one is a Sambal. It is prawns, like a spicy kind of prawn, a chili prawn. And this other one, I don't like butchering all of the words, but this is like shredded beef or chicken. And over here we have dalka, which is like a bean dish. And it feels pretty loose, so there's some kind of beans in there, so another kind of vegetable kind of thing going on. And then the last two It's really hard to see. I mean, I try holding these right near my face. It's really hard to see. This is sardines and a sauce, probably potentially tomato sauce. And this last one is like a pea dessert or a green bean dessert, some type of green dessert. So that is all of the main slash side slash desserts. Alright, this is all the accessory stuff, and this was a little label that came with it. You can see it's menu B, and it did expire on the 30th of January of this year, but I've never had one of these, and most of this stuff is bulletproof, so we're still gonna try it. Get 2 packs of biscuits or crackers. This is pineapple jam. It's the same exact thing, just one side and the other. Get some matches. 4 bags of tea. 2 110-gram packs of coarse sugar. I thought you got a lot of sugar with a Russian IRP. It kind of puts that to shame. Get some napkins or latrine paper. Get some vitamins. You get vitamin B, and you get what's the other one? Ascorbic acid. So we talked about the tea. These are 2 packets of salt, and it's quite a bit of salt too. You get 4 packets of creamer or milk substitute, and then you get 2 coffees. Now, there's another thing that this ration comes with. It comes with some rice. Every 2 people get a small ration. And it said it's about a cup of rice for a person. So this is 7 ounces of rice that I picked up from just a local grocery store. So we'll also prepare some of this with the lunch and the dinner. Hello, Sherman. Okay, now on to breakfast. Now I know we have 2 packs of crackers and we have 2 jams, but one interesting thing about this ration is it is designed for 24 hours, but it is usually for a day and a half. The average Malaysian soldier gets issued 2 of these rations every 3 days. We will hang on to these for breakfast tomorrow. Now, breakfast looks like it is incredibly light. But one of the things that, from talking with a gentleman that used to eat these, he said that they had their breakfast kind of early, but it was always a light breakfast, and they ate their lunch or their midday meal usually between like 10 and 11 o'clock to offset such a light lunch or a light breakfast. Just to mix things up, we're going to do a little differently today. Right here's our crackers. You can see they're to March of this year. But we know we're daring. We are daring indeed. Expiration dates don't mean squat to us, especially poor old Steve, man. Have you seen that Civil War hardtack he ate? That is nuts, dude. Nuts. NVTS nuts, if you understand Latin. Here's some of the biscuits. Have a sweet type of smell to it. I'm looking forward to that. And this is pineapple jam. And we're going to make coffee and tea, because I don't know what the soldiers would prefer. I know they said it's what you prefer. I'm going to make both. Oh, there goes an MRE avalanche behind me. And we'll use the sugar. We'll lead this stuff up. I'll grab one of these tea bags out of here, maybe. Now this could be the challenge, fishing it out. But we will do our best. You know what? Maybe we might just leave it in. And no big deal. You only live once. And here's some whitener. I know some people say we don't use that in our stuff, and we don't. Like I said, live daring. Be daring. That's quite a bit too. Oh, no kidding! It's six grams. Oh well. Well, like we said, live daring. And I got this new kettle after watching Kiwi Dude's vids and being jealous of that and not wanting to pour water all over everything like I do with most of my reviews. And what better to use than a Commonwealth spork? Give that a little stir. Steep. Let's add a little bit of this sugar. Now I'm going to cheat and just use a pair of scissors because I want this, well, maybe I shouldn't say the smallest hole possible. There we go. That looks like that would be plenty. 110 grams of sugar, man. That is an insane amount of sugar. We'll let that do its thing. And the coffee. No little tear notches, no little nothing, so the knife always works for that. Very fine, powdery ground. It will give this a stir. And then lastly, we had these little vitamin pills. We could do one today and one tomorrow, seeing how it is used for really a day and a half ration. Probably always have these in the morning. So one today. This one has no perforation on it. And one tomorrow. Alright, got the tea, got the coffee. You can see them steaming nice and well. Just going to try the biscuit, just nice and plain on its own. Very slight. I'm on the fud today. Very slight sweet taste, but you can smell it. It smells almost kind of like a graham cracker, but it doesn't have that sweetness of a graham cracker. It's really dry, and it kind of really comes apart like into a powder into your mouth. I'll try some of this scalding coffee. Oh man, that kettle really works good. First time I've used it was today. Man, that's some hot coffee. Alright, man, that's some really freaking hot coffee. I think I might stick with the tea. We'll try some of this pineapple jam. Again, I know it sounds weird and perverted, but the smaller the hole, the better control that you have. I know. So there's some of that on the biscuit. Yeah. I like that. I never had pineapple jam before. That was very pleasant. And I know somebody's going to tell me, hey, well, you can dunk your biscuit into your tea or your coffee. And I have just a little bit of jam on there too, so that should be pretty tasty. Well, let's give that a try. Softens it slightly, but it is still dry on the inside. I guess if you held it in there long enough, it would moisten it all the way through. And then the tea. Again, I've been schooled. Some people leave the tea bag in, some people take it out. Doesn't really matter to me too much. So, voila. It's not super overly comprehensive, but this would be breakfast, and of course, breakfast for tomorrow. Okay, now on to lunch. And like we said, this is going to be for 3 meals for lunch also tomorrow. So we've got some rice. This is dried chicken or some type of beef. It's kind of like a jerky, I'm guessing. What do we have here? Like spicy prawns. I figured that we would give ourselves a little dessert because there's 2 of these. And which one is this? And for some fruit, some papayas. And then we got the tea, some whitener, some salt if we need it, and of course the sugar. Now the dessert and the papaya, we're not going to heat that up, but I think this jerky would be kind of nice, slightly heated, and I know the prawns would be nice and heated. Now this packaging says do not remove this plastic until you are ready to cook it. Now the beauty of these 140 gram packets is the Malaysian military uses the same type mess kit as the British forces, and these fit perfectly inside. And from what I understand is they will stack some of these mains so they don't have to use multiple times of water, and they can heat everything right at once. Nice touch. Now of course I know that you don't have to be daft enough to heat any type of jerky, so what we'll do, we'll put a little bit of this on the tray prior to doing it. This is almost like a pemmican, so just a tad of it. And I can't identify what type of meat that is. Interesting. Alright, while I had this upstairs, I didn't actually heat it up because I was like, it would just be kind of stupid. But one thing that I do recall is rehydrating some dehydrated meat, which that is kind of what this looks like. And I know this is just supposed to be eaten out of the packet, but I didn't get a real big giant set of comprehensive instructions on how to prepare this. But the one thing that I do know from camping and everything else is sometimes if you add just a little bit of water to this stuff, you can get a nice rehydration to it. So let's just let that sit there in a little bit of water, just as an experiment, just to see what happens. Okay, let's plate all the other stuff. I still have some tea, so we've got the tea already prepared. And what is this? This is the dessert, which it says green bean dessert. Green bean dessert. Yeah. When in Rome, you know. Squeeze all these to the bottom. I know I did another ration. I think I heated it up. And everybody was like, no, you're not supposed to heat it up. Looks more like a black bean dessert. Slightly sweet. I know somebody's going to say, well, what is in the package? And there are no contents. So your guess is as good as mine. But it does say green bean dessert. Next we have the papaya. Now, I'm not expecting anything earth-shattering with this. It's a lot of liquid. It smells really nice. It is small, tiny fragment pieces of papaya. We'll fish some of those out in a little bit. Toss some of this stuff away. That is one thing. This stuff has a whole lot of extra stuff lying about. I know some people complain about FSRs and whatnot, but that is a ton. Now I know this doesn't come with the ration, and it's usually something that I don't include, but this is definitely something that is used in these rations. They're actually issued this, as long as they're issued with small, hexamine blocks to heat this stuff up on their cookers. And then we have the Sambal, which these are spicy prawns. And again, very liquidy. That smells pretty good too. Going to set these over here on the side. I was almost trying to expect like a good size tiger tail prawn. But nonetheless, we've got these little bits. Let's try that out on its own. Almost tastes like a shell on. Not that that is a horrible thing, especially if you've lived in Spain. A nice kick. There's a heat that comes in afterwards, which I like. Almost there's kind of like a little vinegar kind of edge, or like a fish sauce kind of thing going on. There's a little bit of rice. Yeah, if you like spicy, you would enjoy that. If you don't like spicy, you're just gonna have to suffer. Even this shredded beef has a slight spiciness to it. I guess it is all these little spices. On its own, it has a really nice flavor. So you can definitely eat it just like that. And then again, we tried to rehydrate this, and it looks like it is quite successful. Looks pretty good to me. We'll give this a little try, because I want to try some with the rice. I had a little stringy bit in there, but it does taste pretty darn good. Especially as it's rehydrated. Try some of that with the rice. That's good too. Grab a little tea to cleanse the palate. That's pretty nice. Now I'm going to grab this bag of our papaya, because it seems like this is where most of the chunks decided to stay. Nice little chunks in there. Let's give that a try. This is one thing I'm always complaining about USMREs not really having anymore, is actual fruit. The syrup is very, very sweet, and almost kind of overpowers the papaya. And the papaya is nice and soft and gives you that nice fruity flavor going down. A little bit of citrus. Yeah, that's nice. I could probably do with less syrup and more papaya, but I wasn't consulted. And then the dessert. I don't know why it's called green bean dessert. I know there's the other ones like gelatinous black rice, which that almost looks like what it is, but I looked at translations. It is sweet, like a little bit of coconut milk kind of in there. I think this is something that you have to be raised with. It's not that it's bad. I mean, anything, if you like things that are sweet, it's sweet. It almost kind of has like if you like tapioca pudding, the little tapioca, you know, balls, pieces. You know how they, when you chew them or you eat them, they kind of deform and mold, and you know, they're a little like gelatinous. That's what this is. It's sweet with that little gelatinous kind of thing. Well, this was lunch.